I don't understand like what kind of moderation was already happening on Facebook, considering everything I know about how Facebook operates, what it looks like. Like it was a primary source of radicalization for many of your family members over the age of 50. So outside.
Okay, first things first. Do you want to talk about that there's no censorship on Facebook? There was tremendous amount of censorship on Facebook. I felt it firsthand, Hasan. So if you're listening, Hasan, I was a victim of this censorship. So just so you know, what happened was in South Australia, we had a vaccine scientist, one of the top vaccine scientists in the world, Nikolai Petrovsky, who's created over 50 vaccines, Hasan. Create a vaccine during the pandemic. Within 2 months, had a vaccine ready. A protein-based one, not mRNA, a protein-based vaccine ready to rock and roll. And the government basically ignored him and waited the extra 10 months for the Pfizer and Moderna contracts to come through. So we kicked up a fuss about this, and Nikolai, you know, being one of the top vaccine researchers in the world, gave us a lot of academic know-how, let's say, around what's happening on the pandemic, the mRNA vaccines, etc., etc. And your page, your Facebook, which you think didn't get censored the hell out of us. They took down our posts. They put what's it called? Fact-checking notifications. They even shut down our accounts a few times. So yeah, there was, and also the shadow banning, extreme shadow banning, literally being completely isolated from everyone. So, Hasan, wake up, mate.
Outside of severe censorship of issues that pertain to Israel, when were they actually super aggressively moderating right-wing commentary?
Just told you, Hasan. Literally just told you that.
Like they.
It's not even right-wing. It's literally like we were considered right-wing for supporting a local vaccine researcher.
They only went aggressively after those who, you know, said things that were rather unkind about the apartheid state. That's it. So I don't know how. Maybe you said Hunter Biden. I guess they're still talking about Hunter Biden. Yeah. The most top of mind issue. Hunter Biden. What do you mean? All matter of business is political. These are oligarchs. They're all bending the knee to Donald Trump and normalizing it. And no, the reality of the matter is the fact-checking operation wasn't beneficial for advertisers. I guess you could probably sell it to the advertisers that your platform didn't look like Twitter, for example. The issue, however, is that when Facebook makes this move openly, due to the interesting insular nature and the complete consolidated nature of all industries, but especially social media, other companies will follow suit. And basically what's going to end up happening is it will normalize supercharged right-wing misinformation.
Supercharged right-wing supercharged information. Hasan, what the hell are you talking about, mate? Like literally for the last 10 years, it has been supercharged left-leaning information. Like literally domination. Like you couldn't even say something. Like you would, if you said something, you'd lose your friends. You'd lose, like, you have no idea what you're talking about. I think because you live in your little bubble, you have no idea what the real world's like. But basically, if you said any conservative sentiments on Facebook, especially, I'm another example. On Facebook, I made a video criticizing Black Lives Matter, and I got completely cancelled by like all these people who are supposed to be my friends, right? So, like, I'm a living example of this. And all that's happened now is it's started to balance. Twitter was like 70% dominated by the left, and now it's balancing to about 50-50. And you, Hasan, can't handle the 50-50 nature. Like you guys just can't handle losing. Like losers lose, Hasan. Like, of course there's going to be equilibrium at some point. Like you studied philosophy, right? There's always equilibrium in society. There's always going to be a societal equilibrium factor. The left couldn't keep dominating forever. Eventually, normacy and common sense was going to catch up.
I had a conspiratorial mindset around this sort of thing. I would say that these companies are not necessarily interested in free speech at all. Well, I guess that's not a conspiracy. We know that to be true. But
yes, I agree.
Instead, they want one of the few areas where you have access to correct information, especially when paired up with like decent mainstream journalistic outlets.
Decent mainstream media. What? Where are the decent mainstream media outlets? Can you please like just show me one, Hasan? Like just one, please. And one that's not biased, like literally politically neutral. Name me one, please.
To be gutted. to be destroyed. They don't want people like myself, basically, to exist on these platforms.
You can exist on these platforms. You just need to make sure that you're not being delusional and misleading the youth. Like, literally, that's all it is. You going around and spouting radical political ideas is going to come under criticism, and it's going to be fleshed out. What's actually happened, Hasan, is now, for the first time, your ideas are actually going to be questioned properly by common sense. And you don't like that. You're like, oh my god, people are going to figure out that I'm just, like, most of my stuff is... Like, in a perfect world, Hasan, we had a magic wand, and we could literally make those ideas happen, like your socialistic, communistic ideas, and all the ways that you speak around the Israel-Palestine thing. Yeah, sure, wonderful, but it's not. You're living in a delusional world that doesn't exist. We're literally on a molten bowl of rock floating in space. And stuff is bad, stuff is suffering, and there's natural laws of the universe that you just can't ignore because you want to be a good guy and impress all the women. That's how you come across. Like, if I met you, I go, oh, Hasan, you're a guy who, like, it feels like you believe the things you believe just to impress chicks. Like, your whole existence is like to cuck to chicks. That's what it feels like. Like, I've met people like you in where I'm from, and you come across like, but I still like you. Like, I think you're like a nice person. Like, I listen to your content all the time. I don't agree with anything you really politically say, but I think you are generally a nice person. But you've just been trapped in this box. Now you're stuck in this box, and like, you know, you just can't escape it. Like, you're afraid to just embrace the other side because you don't want to lose this. Like, oh, I'm Hasan, the left darling of the emo chicks of the left. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's really, really unfortunate for you, but we're waiting for you, Hasan, to just become a bit more neutral. Because I like your left-wing takes. I like your extremist left-wing takes because they're interesting to entertain, but that's what you are. You're an entertainer at the end of the day. No one really takes your political, like, no one will take your political stuff seriously. No one's going to go to government and go, you know what? Hasan has, you know, he's the right leader for this society, for the world. No one's gonna. No, you're an entertainer. I listen to you to be entertained. I listen to you to laugh, because I think, Hasan's a smart guy. He surely has a better ontological understanding of the universe, a better ontological understanding, a metaphysical understanding of humanity, and the nuances of humanity. Does he really think that men thinking that their women are women? Like, does he generally, like, with all the philosophical understanding of ontology, do you truly believe that, or are you just putting it on to impress these other white women? I don't know. Like, it's like you're like a white woman impresser. I don't know. That's like literally the best way to describe you. I literally don't know how to describe you. Like, you're getting old, mate. You don't have a family. You've got all success. Settle down, mate. Enjoy your life. You've got a cool dog. You have all the right attributes to be such a outstanding human being. I don't know. I don't tell you how to live your life. I'm not trying to father you here, but seriously, mate, like, you have huge potential. Like, you could, like, why are you letting Asmongold win this? Like, you could mop the floor of Asmongold, but instead you're letting Asmongold win this. What, you can't keep up with Asmongold? Really?
They want these platforms to be controlled by people who look at wildfires and say, well, it's orbs. Because a guy like myself, if I reach, or other people like me, if we reach a certain level of prominence, then obviously that could become an issue down the line. We are now officially in the age where...
No, it will never become an issue down the line, because you've literally been touting the capitalistic agendas for the last 10 years. You're totally pro-vaccine, like the mRNA vaccines. You're totally pro the lockdowns. You're totally pro all the agendas set by the elite capitalists. Like, you're literally a warrior of the elite. You don't actually do anything, like, with your actions that say otherwise.
Correct information is not beneficial to those in positions of power. It's infinitely better if you constantly tell the broader audience that these issues are caused by random things. Look no further than the way that our systems are designed. I mean, look away from the way that our systems are designed. It's actually aliens, or sometimes illegal aliens. That's it. Yeah, I said this as well, but The vibes recently just feel like everyone has accepted Trump. The media doesn't want to challenge him. Social media is going to be all owned by suck-ups. The Democrats aren't putting up a fight like they did in 2017. It just feels like society's fully accepted Trumpism. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're at the pinnacle point where people have literally had enough. Like, people have literally had enough, and... 1 second. Of course, like, what are they going to do? Are they going to, like, use their identity politics maneuvers to have a go at someone else? Like, I don't understand what the left have left. Get it? The left have left. What do they have left in their arsenal? They've got nothing. They're literally done.
It's true. There is no value for the truth. There is no interest for the truth. And I think the
truth, who are you to say what the truth is? I don't understand why your line of thought is the truth. Like, who told you that? Who said that you, Hasan, are the truth speaker? Who said that to you?
real damaging impact of this will be that instead of advertisers...
Like, if you said, you know what, I have some sort of, my truths are connected to something deeper within me, I would understand it, but they're not. They're literally connected to elite mainstream media platforms. That's your truth. Your truth is literally the elite.
fleeing from places like Twitter, if all of the social media platforms resemble Twitter and are recreated in Trump's image, filled to the brim with misinformation, conspiracies, racial animus, and the like, then advertisers will inevitably go back to Twitter and will continue funding platforms like Facebook. It'll normalize this kind of uninterrupted, unrestricted flow of right-wing mania. That is what I am ultimately fearful of. I think that's what these
Why are you fearful?
guys want. It's much easier to keep the population servile if they are all constantly worried, afraid of their own shadows and worried about whatever they think is the appropriate target to get mad at. So that is the America that we are living in for the next 4 years. Truly terrifying prospect.
Truly terrifying prospect. What are you on about? You know what's terrifying? When people can't afford groceries, when people can't afford to send their kids to good schools, when people can't afford to even to live their lives. That's terrifying. You know what's terrifying? Having the left use their identity politics for so long, for 10 years, to literally handicap society, to destroy Western culture from within. That's terrifying. And you're finally seeing a pushback from the people. This is what the people power looks like, Hasan. This is true people power. We are fighting back against the elite, and instead of you think like, it's hard to... It's a broader topic, basically, Hasan, but you understand there's a battle of good versus evil. I know you don't want to hear that. And there are some people who are billionaires, who are successful, who are trying to do good, right? And you have the opposite spectrum. There are billionaires and rich people and successful who try and do bad. And naturally speaking, the good people want to battle the bad people. And people like Trump, who you think is a bad person because he's not perfect. Like, that's the left. The left, like, oh, he's not a good person because he's not perfect. Newsflash, Hasan. No one is perfect. So, if anyone's going to attempt to do good things in this world, they're not going to be perfect. That's the issue with the left. The only people that can do good have to be perfect, standing citizens. There are plenty of people who have done bad things, they regret things in life, who can still do good things. And because you lack the spiritual understanding of that, you can't have that conversation. You're like disconnected from that conversation. You will never understand that. You will only think only perfect people can do good. That's your mindset. Only perfect people with perfect facts, with perfect knowledge, straight from the mainstream media, can do good. There's no way that someone who's done something bad can do good, ever. Like, that's your mindset. It's literally, it's really sad, actually. It's a sad mindset because you don't give humanity a chance to actually do good or empower themselves. You are literally a defeatist. So, you know what, son? Wait for your perfect person. Wait for your perfect little lefty leader to come and step in and do something. Because you know what? It's never going to happen. Because no matter how perfect you pretend to be, Justin Trudeau, no matter how perfect you pretend to be, Jacinta Ardern, Dan Andrews, they are all pathetic leaders with no backbone. They don't stand for anything, and they just do the bidding of the elites. And you have been supporting Hasan. You have been supporting it.
Not good. I must say, not good at all. What is this? Related? Image by Grok.
I'm Hasan, rich guy bad. I'm Hasan, rich guy bad. I'm Hasan, rich guy bad. Like, shut up.
Okay, stop.
Fuck. Grow up, dude. Grow the fuck up. Learn about reality. Like, god damn, dude. You're so... Like, you're triggering me with your lack of understanding. Like, it really triggers me. And I can't, maybe it's because you're Turkish and I'm Greek and I'm getting even more mad. But seriously, dude, I want to grab you and just shake you and wake you up. Honestly, that's what I feel like. I want to wake and shake you up. Because, god damn, dude. There's so much potential in you to be so much better.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder why there was too much political bias in fact-checking, dude. I wonder why. Also, that didn't stop these people from consistently stamping on the so-called principled free speech stance that they're now exhibiting when it comes down to anything that is like remotely pro-Palestinian sentiment being expressed on these platforms. So
that's one thing I can agree with you on. All right, I agree with you on that, Hasan.
They're going to actively undermine pre-existing hate speech legislation by American mandate to ensure that fascist commentary, overt fascist commentary, because fascist commentary still very much exists in these countries, but out and about overt ideological fascist commentary is going to thrive. Oh my.
Fascism's going to thrive. Dude, not everything is fascism, man. Far out. Everything is fascism to you. Like, it's like the word has lost its meaning. You don't know what fascism is. You have no real understanding of fascism. It's like this is what fascism is to like people like Hasan. Fascism is any time the white race acknowledges themselves in doing anything beneficial. Anytime the white race tries to do anything beneficial, that's fascism, apparently, according to Hasan.
My God. Oh, brother. Who still uses Facebook? Billions of people around the planet still very much use Facebook. Normies use Instagram and Facebook. It's over. The failure of neoliberalism is also leading to the only aspect of liberalism that was actually better overall than the Republican reactionary nonsense, which is even aesthetically trying to protect marginalized identities. Because that was the only thing that you could point to with liberalism, it ended up being the only thing that they can undermine further. Fascism supercharged, dude.
Fascism supercharged, dude. So I don't know why I'm paying out your voice, but you literally sound retarded, like a little bit of a retard when you say this shit. Like, literally sound a little bit sophisticated. I don't know how else to describe your genuine concern of fascism. Like, you really think that we're going to fascism? Is that seriously what you really... how? In what? There's no indications of that at all. The only indications there are is that, okay, there's some facts. Some cultures don't mix. Some religions don't mix. And maybe rushing everyone together can cause some pretty bad frictional issues. How about we slow it down and study it a bit more? It's like grabbing the tribe, that Indian tribe that lives alone, that remote tribal tribe, and just chucking them in all of New York City. What do you think's going to happen? It's not going to turn out good. And that one's an extreme case that will happen immediately. But there's also slow effects. Things that take time. Maybe 10 years, 20 years to see the true effects. And we got to study that and go, okay, what happened here? What was the issues? No, I'm Hasan. Let's just throw everyone together and it's all going to work out. That's you. And then apparently me saying that's bad is fascism now. Wow. Well, we're all fascists now, aren't we? Far out.
It's not just fascism either, by the way. It's just like straightforward. It's just straightforward, violent sentiment being expressed. It doesn't even have to be like ideologically fascist, and it's going to be so much misinformation.
Mate, you're acting like the right wing are the only ones that do misinformation. The left wing have done the most misinformation. Literally, you guys are... Your whole ideology is misinformation. Like, literally, the ideology of left is misinformation in its very nature. It goes against the physical reality of the universe and the earth and all its properties and the way human biology works, the way human nature works. You literally are, like, you might as well just call yourself the misinformation ideology. I don't know, ideologue.
Like so much unrestricted, unfiltered misinformation. Because that already very much exists on Facebook. What I'm talking about right now is already something that very much exists on Facebook. The problem is when the top of the company is openly stating his desires to accelerate the spread of this misinformation, what you're going to get is just so, like, what you're going to get is an algorithmic boost on some of the most nonsensical, some of the most insane things you ever heard. Facebook is already a graveyard of AI, some of the craziest AI accounts dedicated specifically to showing you how stupid the AI slop is on that platform. We are cooked. It's also the beast killing itself, honestly. This is like the monster that is destroying itself in an effort to engage in endless profit seeking, ironically enough, because I think this will ruin American society. What remains of like American normalcy will go away.
The thing is, Hasan, if you actually left out all the other delusional stuff and focused just on elite theory and the classism war, you'd actually have a lot more of a stronger stance. People would actually follow you, but you've attached yourself to the LGBT community thinking that's going to help you. It hasn't helped. If you know what, I reckon the LGBT community is almost like a designed mechanism, so people like you will never succeed. Literally, that's what it feels like. Like, yeah, like the LGBTQ is a trap created by the patriarchy or created by the patriots, so people like you will never have a chance to spread your communistic ideas. Ever think about that?
Yeah, when they say terrorism, they're talking about Israel, by the way. Like, that's why they hyper focus on the terrorism aspect of it. They're not talking about like ISIS and stuff, although that is a part of it. They're certainly not talking about white nationalist terrorism. They're talking about, you say anything about Palestine, you're clapped, you're gone. Facebook is so bad with their censorious practices in terms of censorship over anything remotely pro-Palestinian that the Human Rights Watch has written reports on it. Luigi Mangione is another one too. Expect things like that to also be surprised. I like this lady being like, oh, what about bullying? You know, not the undesirables, of course, because what you're talking about is literally supercharged bullying of trans people and gay people, you know.
Here you go. You fell for the trap, Hasan. You fell for the trap. You bring up the LGBTQ again, and now no one's going to listen to you. No one's going to listen to you now. It's just gone. Like, I was literally listening to you, and then you brought that up, and I was like, here we go. This cuck law.
Undocumented migrants and whatnot. But what about bullying, you know?
Undocumented migrants, LGBTQ, like every trap that you could fall into, you do.
Cis teenagers.